so this is how we built a $30 million per year e-commerce brand with one ugly landing page. And this is really the new way to build an e-commerce business to create your ultimate freedom. Because what I've done in my own business with my business partner is nice, it's an interesting story, but what does it really matter for you? And so that's what I'm here to really deliver, is how you apply what we've learned to build your own business, whether you're starting a new e-commerce business or whether you're going to grow one that you already have. So to give you an example of the reason why this model is so important right now, if I were to go to Amazon and search for really any product, but let's call it electric toothbrush. And so this is kind of the top of the search results for electric toothbrush, at least they were when I pulled this yesterday. There's something interesting to notice here, is that at the very top of these results, it's all ads. Literally that big banner thing at the top with kind of 3 individual products, that's an ad. All 4 of those first ones, also ads. And then you scroll down a little bit further on the page, this whole section is also ads. You scroll down a little bit further, this whole section is also ads. And so Amazon has really become a pay-to-play sort of game. So it's become kind of problematic for people that are either starting from scratch or they already have a business. I'm just talking with sellers all day long that are trying to figure out how to scale sales outside of Amazon, because Amazon has become more and more expensive. Not only has ads taken over all the product listing pages, but ads have also gotten more expensive. More people started driving more traffic because you almost have to now on Amazon, and it's become more and more sophisticated and more expensive. And so it's become kind of problematic for sellers. And even if you manage to get somebody to your actual product page, they're still getting ads pushed at them. Now, this happens to be another Philips one, but this could just as well be a competitor. And it goes even further. These are also ads. So if you get people to your product page on Amazon, first you have to get people to fight through all those ads on the search results pages. Then once they actually get to your product page, Amazon's just pumping them full of more ads. Amazon's advertising platform is extremely profitable now. It's one of the biggest profit drivers in its whole company. So it's driving as many people to ads as possible, because they almost, I think, could probably care less as long as somebody just keeps bouncing around to different products and clicking on ads. They almost make more money doing that than they actually do selling products, which is crazy. And so you as a seller, you're kind of fighting against all this sort of stuff. So it got me kind of thinking, years ago, I was like, there's got to be a better way to build a business where you can control everything. This is kind of what a lot of Amazon sellers are kind of feeling like today, is they're just kind of getting crushed under the weight of all of this increased competition on Amazon. Amazon's become kind of more problematic with different policy issues. There's all this advertising expense and sort of necessity now. And so it's just become more and more difficult. However, on the other side, total e-commerce, which is what this represents, and this is not just Amazon, this is literally all e-commerce sales in the US, just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. So kind of in the middle there, that 875 is kind of what it's projected for this year. And you see that it's kind of projected to keep growing. I mean, it's not a big kind of like mental leap, I guess, a leap of faith, because it's kind of been growing like that for a long time. And it just takes up a higher and higher percentage each year of total retail sales. So those retail sales are already there. It's just a matter of more and more of that shifting online. So building an e-commerce business is still a great place to be. If I were recommending a friend or family member to build any kind of business, this is it. I would build an e-commerce business. I just wouldn't build it 100% dependent on Amazon like we used to recommend everyone do. So quick question for you, and I'd like you to literally pop this. I'd like to make this a little bit engaging. So I'm gonna open up the questions on my other screen here. And what I'd like you to do is answer this question. Do you think e-commerce sales will be higher in 3 years than now? Let's see. Heather says yes. Amir says yes, depending on the economy. Rich says yes. Whoever this Matt Clark person is says absolutely. Louis says I hope so. Johnny says yes. Previous chart says yes. So yes. So pretty much everyone is kind of in agreement that e-commerce sales are likely going to be higher 3 years from now. There's almost nothing that could stop that. Even if there's an economic slowdown, I don't think it's going to result in e-commerce sales necessarily being lower. Maybe the growth slows down slightly, but the shift from physical retail to online retail is not really stopping. So if I were to go over on Amazon though to search for something like coffee frother, and I were to see the products that pop up, I actually know this guy. I think he may be a member of ours. At least he's in the same kind of community. But if you were to look at these products, there's something interesting to note here. When we first started teaching Amazon stuff, when I first started selling on Amazon back in 2010 or something, nobody was putting any keywords in the product titles. All the images would have looked terrible. People barely had any reviews. They weren't having any of these coupons on there. And the product in this case, the title would have literally just said something like coffee frother, and that's it. And then maybe like a model number or something. It's gotten a lot more sophisticated. People like this are doing these crazy images to really stand out, which is good. They're including all these keywords in their titles and descriptions and bullet points and all that sort of stuff. They're really trying to ramp up the number of reviews. They're running coupons. It's become a much more sophisticated place to sell. And I'm curious to see what you all think. Has it gotten harder to win on Amazon? I would especially like to hear from the established Amazon sellers. In your opinion, do you think it's gotten harder to sell on Amazon? B. White says yes. Naisha says, I'm sure. Raman says, yes, certainly. Gordy says, much harder, more complex, for sure harder, without a doubt. Preet says it's horrible. Yeah, so it's become more complicated. Amazon sales have picked up a bunch, which is nice, but the competition has gotten very hard. Then this has kind of existed for a while, but Amazon has really clamped down on this more and more each year. So this is kind of their communication guidelines for you as an Amazon seller. And just to kind of pull out a thing, it says permitted messages, this is between you and the people that buy from you on Amazon, do not include any of the following messaging types. Basically marketing or promotional messaging, including coupons. What this basically means is that if a customer buys from you, buys your product from your brand, from your seller account on Amazon, you literally are not supposed to ever market to them. You're not ever even supposed to send them a coupon. If you launch a new product, you can't be like, just like you would in literally any other business, you would say, hey, here's a coupon on our new product. It's a great deal. Or maybe here's a Halloween coupon or a Christmas coupon, or literally just letting people know you have a new product for sale. That is not permitted, not allowed on Amazon, which is a problem. So final question here, and then we'll move on to the training, is as a brand owner, is it better to control the relationship with your customers? It's kind of a rhetorical question. We'll see if anybody disagrees. Jason says, yes, yes, yes. Samantha, absolutely. Matt Clark, who apparently has a New York driver's license to prove that's his name, says 100%. Catherine says, definitely, most definitely, yep, so 100%. So with all that said, here are what I believe are the 4 most important steps to build a massive business not dependent on Amazon. And it's basically the same system, same steps we used to build our own $30 million a year e-commerce brand. Now, some of you all, I think most of you are probably familiar with who I am, what I do, my history, that kind of thing. But in case you aren't, why listen to me? I've sold over $252 million online across a variety of businesses, e-commerce, software, training, services, different kind of things. My main things have, kind of always centered around e-commerce though. But I've sold over $252 million online. I have been a full-time e-commerce entrepreneur since 2009. I'm not a person who just popped up on TikTok last year because I sold, $1 million on Amazon and all of a sudden started teaching people. I've been doing this stuff for quite a while. I'm the original creator. Literally, it came out of my head and became Amazing Selling Machine before we started bringing on people like Mike to sort of enhance and improve and add to the training. But I was the original creator of that program, which went on to have over 35,000 students. Our students, we estimate, have sold about $10 billion online. And so with that said, I think I am the only person to help people sell $10 billion in e-commerce and build the fastest growing e-commerce company in its category. I do this stuff and I teach this stuff. So this is a business that we just built, or if you go to Inc. magazine, or this was a few weeks ago, the most successful companies in America. If you scroll down, you check out the number 29 on the Inc. 5000 list, literally 29, top 30, I guess. Life Boost Coffee, that's a company me and a business partner own, had 11,283% growth. And with this same system we're going to be learning in this webinar, we built the 29th fastest growing company in the US, the #1 fastest growing coffee company, the #1 fastest growing company in the Midwest, where the business is based out of, and the #1 fastest growing company in Wyoming, where the company is incorporated. We are also the #1 winner of the 2022 Indianapolis Fast Business Journal Fast 25. That's us, me and my business partner, up on stage getting that award. So with that said, I've been doing e-commerce for a while, very effective at helping other people do it, and I've also had a lot of success actually doing it myself. And I'm telling you, this is the way to build one today. So first, pick the right product that can be sold anywhere. Second, maximize the amount customers buy up front. Third, turn on and test a diversified group of proven traffic sources. And fourth, create automated follow-up systems to increase lifetime value. So let's jump into number one. Pick the right product that can be sold anywhere. Now, if you're starting a business, this is obvious. You got to pick a new product. If you already own an e-commerce business, there's a good chance you didn't design your product catalog so that you could build a product that could be sold anywhere. You likely picked products to rank for keywords on Amazon, but there's a much bigger opportunity outside of that. So you may still want to add a new product to your brand over time. So our product, coffee, basically couldn't get more generic than that. But this is kind of an interesting point here, because the old model was you wanted to avoid high competition products. You wanted to go super niche to rank for keywords on Amazon, didn't want to price too high, because if you're against, 1,000 other people on Amazon, you can't be like double their price. Forget your interest, that doesn't matter. Don't worry about what you actually like to sell or like to do. Just sell whatever can rank for keywords on Amazon, and sell on a platform such as Amazon, because it offers lots of benefits, lots of automation. They do a lot of customer service and stuff for you. All the fulfillment's built in, so there's a lot of benefits there. The new model, sell mass market products, go after a big market, go broad, sell at a price premium so you have a higher profit margin and you make more cash flow. Sell a product you actually like. It's much better to sell a product you enjoy. I drink our coffee every day. My family members are paid subscribers of our business. It's a great position to be in. And then sell direct to consumer. Don't sell on a platform, sell direct to consumer, because nowadays you can get a lot of the automation you can get on a big platform on your own website. So how do you find a good product to sell, whether you're starting from scratch or you already have a brand? One way to do it is go straight to the Amazon Top 100. If you just do a search for Amazon bestsellers and click on that link in Google, then you'll get to it taken to a page like this that literally shows you the top 100 products in every category. So if you start digging around there, you'll find products like this. This is a Dude Wipes product. And so this is literally just bathroom wipes for guys. They took a mass market product and appealed it to a certain niche. And this thing has gone on to crush it. They sell a lot direct to consumer, and they produced, according to an article I read, over $90 million in sales. Mass market product, still your own brand. You got to own the brand, which is what we recommend, whether you're selling on Amazon, off of Amazon, you got to own the brand. It's just crazy not to. And this one has sold over $90 million following the same kind of system. If you were to dig around in the top 100, you'd also find a product like this, such as this lunch box. This could be a potential opportunity for you to create a product that's already proven to sell very well because it's in the top 100 on Amazon, and then tailor that down to a specific niche. Maybe you create a lunch box for people that are into like hunting and fishing and things like that, where it kind of needs to be more durable. Or maybe you create it for a different audience. So you're finding a mass market product that you can appeal to a certain audience. And we'll talk more about differentiation in a second. Method number two, literally just go to Kickstarter. So Kickstarter shows all kinds of products that have received a bunch of funding. So for example, if you were to go to Kickstarter and you would find this product, which is a bike light, out of all things, a bicycle light, they raised over $660,000 from almost 5,000 people. Now, the goal here is not to actually go sell on Kickstarter. It's just to use it to find products that are already getting a ton of demand. And method number three is actually go straight to your hobbies. So for example, if you were to search for like rock climbing, you would find tons of products in there. Say that was a hobby of yours. You look for the ones that are selling the best. And if you could differentiate one of them using one of the methods we're about to talk about. Now, there are two critical steps once you've picked a few potential product ideas. This could be starting from scratch or adding to your existing brand. First, you got to validate demand. A big mistake people make in business in general, but also e-commerce, is there's on the one extreme, let's just sell a product that can rank for a keyword on Amazon that has a lot of traffic. There's the other extreme, which is like, I'm just going to invent a product and then hope it sells. Instead, you want to do something a little bit smarter. You want to sell a good mass market product, something you're actually interested in, but you want to make sure that the demand is there. So for example, if I was just hunting around on Kickstarter for ideas and I found bicycle light, then I would go over to Amazon, click on a few of the products, scroll down, and you're going to see a section like this that says additional information. What you're looking for is the best sellers rank. And so right there, it shows it's the number 88 in sports and outdoors. You're just looking for a couple similar products that are less than 10,000. As long as you do that, you know there's enough demand there, enough people buying it, that it's actually worth your time. You got to validate demand, because this lets you know the product can actually sell. You're just creating a better option for people. Step number 2, this is a big change from Amazon FBA of the past, is you've got to differentiate. One method of differentiation is to target it to a specific market. For example, Black Rifle Coffee went public at a valuation of $1.7 billion. All they basically did was take regular coffee and appeal it to a certain demographic, you know, veterans or people that support the military, people that like, you know, hunting and fishing and all that kind of stuff. They kind of went after that market with a generic kind of coffee product, built their whole brand around it, and all of a sudden, you know, they built this couple billion-dollar company. So one differentiation method is to target a specific market, which is exactly what Dude Wipes did. They took generic bathroom wipes and said, hey, these are no longer just generic bathroom wipes, these are bathroom wipes for dudes. So you don't have in your bathroom, especially if you're like a single guy, have some little, you know, yellow and pink bathroom wipes with, you know, little babies on them when you don't have any kids or anything, and, you know, people are coming over and wondering what's going on. Now you have these normal wipes, which look totally different, you know, sort of masculine sort of branding. So one option is to take a mass market product and target it at a specific demographic. Second one is just to elevate the packaging. Method Hand Soap did this back in the day, where they took regular ugly plastic hand soap bottles and they basically just made them look way nicer. And so now you don't need a either ugly hand soap bottle sitting on your desk or in your bathroom sink, or you don't have, you know, have to go fill up constantly this, like, you know, glass one, for example. More recent example is Quip. So they basically took a regular, pretty much electric toothbrush and made it look a heck of a lot nicer. And all of a sudden they built a massive company off of that. Third differentiation method, go natural, healthy, or environmentally friendly. For example, Native deodorant was sold to Procter & Gamble for $100 million cash. What they did was basically said is like, this is the most natural deodorant possible, was kind of their angle, selling $12 sticks of deodorant, not super expensive product, not necessarily that exciting, absolutely crushed it following the same exact model by going natural with their product. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's multi-billionaire business partner, said, in business, we often find that the winning system goes almost ridiculously far in maximizing and or minimizing one or a few variables. What this means is that you want to be known for something. For example, like, you don't want to go halfway with this. So with our coffee, we've intentionally positioned it as, and not just on the marketing, we kind of keep trying to work on this on the product side, the healthiest and lowest acidity coffee possible. We want to be known for that. And if you can stake your claim into that, all of a sudden now you can have mind share in the market and you have a strong differentiation. So the fourth method of this is what I call the EST strategy, or EST strategy. Basically, you want to make your product, if possible, stand out for something: biggest, smallest, fastest, lightest, heaviest, shiniest, dullest, simplest, costliest, manliest, girliest, etc. You can go on and on with this kind of thing. This is one way to differentiate your product, is taking one variable and making it more extreme. So that's step number one, is to pick the right product that can be sold anywhere. Now, if you already have a brand, you don't have to scrap the brand. I don't recommend you doing it, because that brand already has traction, it already has visibility. Take your same products, start selling them on your own site, and then add one of these products to really ramp things up, is what I would recommend. Obviously, you're free, like everyone else, to start a new brand at some point, but this is how you can make this work for an existing brand. Now, if you're starting from scratch, I would pick a product that fits those steps we just talked to. Number two is to maximize the amount customers buy up front. I recommend you sell and use Shopify as the foundation of your business, no longer Amazon. You have so much control when you sell on your own website. And if you're going to sell physical products on your own website, it's crazy not to use Shopify. There's other shopping cart softwares, which is all Shopify is, but Shopify is the best one because it has the most integrations, most automation. It's the cleanest, the simplest. Got to use Shopify if you're going to sell on your own website. So most people sell bags of coffee for $14.99. Really, they're just selling one bag at a time. Yet our average order value is over $70. You have to get people to buy as much as possible up front, because when you're selling on your own website, the main thing you're competing against on Amazon is a lower conversion rate. Everyone knows Amazon. Everyone buys on Amazon. They're probably adding 3 more things to their cart when they're adding your thing. They get free shipping on Amazon in most cases. On your own store, your conversion rate is going to be lower. One way to counteract that is to have a higher average order value, which just means the average amount of stuff people buy per transaction. Because only about 25% of your customers are ever going to buy from you again. We work hard at this, and I think our repeat purchase rate is only about 28%. So this means, 3/4 of people that ever buy from you are never going to buy from you again. If you're selling good products, if you're doing good customer service, if people are in general pretty happy with you, there's just so many options out there. So for 3/4 of people, the first sale you get with them is going to be the only sale you ever get with them. To make this whole machine work, you have to dramatically increase your average order value. This is the biggest thing existing e-commerce people get wrong whenever they go and try to sell on Shopify. One way to boost your average order value is just to bundle. And I say bundle, you could also call it multi-packs, getting people to buy more than one unit at a time. For example, on our main landing page, our ugly landing page that still works extremely well, we only give people 2 options. You've either got to buy 3 bags or you got to buy 6 bags. Good number of people take the 6 bags. Most people take the 3 bags. There is no 1 bag option even on there. And so we started by testing 1 bag, 3 bag, 6 bag. For us, it worked better to eliminate the 1 bag. But if nothing else, you would want to give people the option to buy at least 3 or 6 bags or 3 or 6 units, depending on whatever product you're selling. And this applies to almost any product out there. There are very few circumstances for a typical e-commerce business where people could not buy multiple products at a time. For example, in Mike's business, he sells camping gear and flashlights and lanterns and that sort of thing. We created a landing page for him, and you may think that somebody only needs like 1 fancy flashlight. Lots of people on his landing page were buying 3 at a time, because it's kind of like, yeah, you may just have in your mind, I want 1 flashlight to go on a camping trip, but in reality, it's like you could have 1 in your car, 1 in your camping bag, you could have 1 by your bed, 1 in your emergency kit, 1 in your spouse's car. There's a reason to have multiple of these, and that applies to almost any product out there. Good number of people were taking this middle option to get 3 at a time. Mike's average order value after we implemented this bundle offer increased by 76%. Average order value booster number 2, the order bump. So this is once somebody clicks add to cart, before they actually go to checkout, enter their credit card, shipping information, that kind of thing, you're presenting an offer to get them to add more stuff to their cart before they start checking out. So for us, a typical order bump is get 1 more bag at a big discount. So in this case, they get it for almost 50% off or so. And so we're like, hey, just add 1 more bag real quick. It's kind of an impulse purchase. Think about adding a pack of gum at the grocery store when you're checking out. You want that sort of look and feel, but this can dramatically increase your average order value. Whereas most people just go out there with a Shopify store, start sending people to their product page, and then wonder why they can't ever make the numbers work. You got to start adding this kind of stuff, and then you can make the whole machine work. So this is an offer that's presented before the cart. Third one is the post-purchase upsell. So this is after they check out. Literally, their credit card has been entered, their first payment has already been processed. This is between that experience and the thank you page. Now you can present a series of offers, and I recommend using every single one available. So we typically use a software called Zipify One-Click Upsell, built by a friend of ours named Ezra. And so this software allows you to have 1 upsell, which means this is the first offer they get presented. For us, it's just more copy at a discount. Then we have a downsell, which means that if they decline that offer, maybe you give them a little bit better of an offer because they didn't accept the first one. It's like maybe you increase the discount a little bit. Or if they accept that first one, you have a second upsell, which is kind of like, man, they just added, like they placed their first order, they added more to the order, let's get them to add even more, maybe a complimentary product or a bundle, some sort of other product that could add to their order. And so that's what we do. We recommend using all 3 of those. That's also going to keep bumping up your average order value. Now, one tip to improve revenue per visitor, other than just increasing the average order value, is this. So when it comes to really making your landing page work, it's kind of a function of 2 things. And the reason our ugly page works so well is because we've gotten these 2 things right. One is increasing your average order value. When somebody does buy, get them to buy as much as possible. Now, number 2 is increasing your conversion rate. Now, you're probably never going to be as good as you are on Amazon, but it can still be better than what most people do. The number one way to increase conversion rate on a landing page is to add more proof. We have testimonials all over the place on the landing page. You almost can't have too many. This can be written reviews, photos of our actual customers with their product, like you can see right here. It can be media mentions. It can be, the total number of 5-star ratings you've ever received. It could be how long you've been in business. It can be Instagram influencer screenshots, Facebook screenshots, video reviews, literally every form of social proof that your product actually does what it says and people have bought it. They're not the first person to ever buy this thing. The more you can add, the better. You almost can't go too far with this. So add massive proof to your landing page and a good offer that increases average order value, and the performance of your landing page is going to go through the roof. To me, this is the secret sauce to making growing sales on Shopify, selling direct to consumer work, where most people, they say if they've tried it before and it didn't work out, it's almost 100% of the time because they didn't get these few pieces right. Now, that was maximizing the amount customers buy up front. Third is to turn on and test a diversified group of proven traffic sources. This is us going from $16.7 thousand a month up to about, almost over $1 million a month. In that entire time period, we basically only ran on one traffic source. It was Facebook ads. We didn't try to complicate it, add a whole bunch of other traffic sources. So we massively scaled on one traffic source, then used that experience to add tons of other traffic sources. So the two most important factors to getting any traffic source to be profitable: first, having the right product, one that has mass market appeal and some level of differentiation. The test I like to give people is if you were to take your product and let's say you were at a coffee shop with a target customer, a potential buyer, they're aware of all the other options in the market. If you were sitting there with them face to face, do you have something unique to say about your product that would make them want to buy your product instead of somebody else's? That's what you're trying to accomplish here. And I believe it's not that hard with those differentiation tools that we mentioned earlier. So first, you got to have the right product. Second, having a high average order value on your Shopify store. Now, the cool thing is if you've done everything we've talked about so far, you've already done both of these in the first two steps. What does this mean? This means that you've just made getting any traffic source to be profitable 1,000,000 times easier. A lot of times people want to immediately just kind of go turn on Facebook ads, send them to a Shopify product page and be like, this thing isn't working, because they haven't done these two things right. If you do these two things right, you don't need to be a great Facebook advertiser. I am not that great at Facebook advertising. Maybe I was okay, 3, 4, 5 years ago, but when we first started building this business, I was kind of fumbling my way through it, dusting off the cobwebs. I only ran our Facebook ads for a couple months and then brought on an agency to scale it, and they've run it ever since then. It was because we got these two things right, so it made their job so much easier. So I don't have to be a great Facebook advertiser. I can hire people who are, because I've already figured out the most important parts of this business. Our basic funnel is we've got a Facebook ad that kind of grabs their attention with like a little video or image that kind of looks catching, and then speaks about the benefit. Coffee almost as alkaline as water. We're basically saying, hey, this is low acid. Hey, it's non-toxic. That's basically our ad. And then we send them to a landing page, either our very ugly page or a page like this where we've tried to beat it, but still cannot beat that page, where we talk about the benefits of the product. Proof, we really beat proof to death on these things. As you can see, it says 314,646. It's more now, I guess. But when we created that page, that was what we had on there. And if you can't really see it because it's kind of small, but we say over 13,000 5-star reviews. So even on this shorter, simpler page, we're really hitting proof hard. And then we have a special offer. Typically, we do a big discount of 25 to 50% for your first order, and then we sell them more in the future. But that's basically our funnel and how we've built this $30 million a year business. Now, the order of priority for traffic channels: first, I recommend organic social media, which sounds crazy because you're like, if I've got 100 followers on Facebook, why am I spending a bunch of time posting content? You don't have to spend a bunch of time. A few times a week is good. Once a day is better. You can basically take the same content and put it on every channel. But if you start feeding Facebook and Instagram at minimum, and today I would recommend adding TikTok, if you start feeding just a little bit of content to each one of those, when you start running your ads, it's going to make your ads way more effective, because people are inevitably going to bleed off onto those pages, and you want them constantly feeding back to your store. Then start a simple, low-cost, $20 a day Facebook ad campaign. Start testing the traffic, start driving traffic to your store, measuring the conversion rate, start bumping up the number of proof elements on your page, improving conversion rate, improving average order value until those numbers make sense to scale even further. Then add targeted Google search ads for specific products related to your brand and products, and then send them to your landing page. Then fourth, TikTok content and ads. It's just crazy not to use that today because you could blow up on TikTok with literally just getting lucky. And so there's no reason not to be placing some bets there sort of every single day for your brand. Then this is kind of order of priority. So I'd be starting with number one and working my way down the list with whatever time you have available. YouTube content, just simple how-to videos about your product, and ads as well. It's another great platform. Then add affiliates, then do customer referrals, literally get your happy customers to send you more customers, incentivize them to do so. Then add Amazon. I'm not so anti-Amazon. I'm anti-building your entire financial livelihood dependent on Amazon. We still produce 10 to 15% of our sales on Amazon, and I love it. We could choose not to sell on Amazon. I choose to use Amazon for what I want. It's because some people just want to buy from Amazon. They don't want to buy from anywhere else. So great, we're going to go sell on Amazon. Get lots of reviews on there. It complements everything else we have going on, gives us some diversification, but we're not so dependent on there. We just use it to our advantage. Ninth, you can add other channels such as Pinterest, Snapchat, podcasts. There's some more obscure advertising platforms that can be good, especially for certain markets and businesses. But I would kind of work my way down the list from 1 to 9, making sure you've done the first couple steps right. You've got the right product and a high average order value. So that was step number 3, is to turn on and test a diversified group of proven traffic sources. The fourth step is to create automated follow-up systems to increase lifetime value. The easiest way to make sales in business is just to offer something to past customers. I see so many Amazon sellers that have email lists of thousands of people and they never email them. What is the point of having them on an email list if you don't email them? So if you have addresses, if you have physical mailing addresses, if you have people on your social media, if you have text-in opt-ins, if you have email lists, use all of that stuff, especially as you build this business with Shopify as your focus, to keep selling to past customers. It's the easiest way to make more money as opposed to constantly trying to hunt down new customers. So for example, this is basically what we did. We started reselling to past customers for Mike's business. His sales shot up, almost doubled in the first week alone. Before I started kind of showing some of this stuff to Mike, his emails looked like what was below. He had an email in September of 2020, then he had an email in April of 2022, so almost a couple of years there without an email, it seems like. And then he had an email campaign, a few months later, 4 months later, whatever that is, in July. And then, so he wasn't really using this email list. And this is very typical for almost every e-commerce brand. Then we said, okay, let's increase sales. All of a sudden, we started emailing his list a lot. Different specials, different promotions. We do campaign burst of like 3 to 4 days. And so you can see 1,800 recipients, 1,900 recipients, 2,500 recipients, good open rates, pretty good click-through rates. So started ramping up the number of emails, and all of a sudden his sales doubled. So there's a simple way to implement this in your business, which I'm calling the sort of customer value extraction system. First, set up Klaviyo, which is just an email and SMS marketing platform that allows you to send emails and SMS to people who opt in. Then automatically add Shopify customers to your email software, which is why I recommend using Klaviyo, because they've made that integration super easy. You almost have to do nothing to make that happen. Then you want to capture email and SMS opt-ins on your site with a 10 to 20% off coupon. You'll see this on almost any major e-commerce website, where if you go there, you'll see a little pop-up box that says, hey, get a 15% off coupon. You want to do that same exact thing because it works. Then when people opt in, immediately deliver the coupon that they opted in for through your first email. Then if they don't buy, which is easy to set up in Klaviyo, you just set up a little filter that says, hey, send this next email if they never bought in the last like 24 hours, ramp up the discount. So if the first one was 10%, give them a 20% if they don't buy, and then give them a 30% if they still haven't bought. It's called a discount ladder, or the kind of more intense term is a buy or die sequence, where you basically just keep emailing them until they actually buy something, because a lead doesn't matter to you unless they actually buy something. They can always re-opt in again. So there's no harm in emailing them even more. And then, so that's for leads, to get them to convert from just a prospect into a buyer. And then you create a second kind of simple email flow that's for customers. So delivered over 60 to 90 days. So when you get a customer, maybe the first email is kind of like, hey, thank you for buying, welcome, here's about our business, et cetera, et cetera. Then you give them maybe 2 to 3 weeks until they probably have received your product. Then you start selling them more stuff. Maybe your next best product, or maybe pushing into subscription, or maybe selling them more of what they already bought. Just have that set up so it automatically delivers those simple series of emails over 2 to 3 months. Now what's happening is every time somebody visits your website, there's an opportunity for them to be automatically sold, because once this stuff is set up, you never have to do anything with it again. Automatically sold with your leads autoresponder. Then once they buy, they're going to be automatically resold from your customer autoresponder. Once you do this, you basically have an automatic sales team in your business that costs you almost nothing once it's set up. On top of that, run a promotion to all your customers and leads once a week. It could be a Halloween sale, a Christmas sale, an anniversary sale, a customer appreciation sale, literally any excuse for you to promote to all your leads and customers once a week. If you do these things, you're going to dramatically increase the value from everyone who visits or buys from you. The greater your lifetime value, which just means the average amount of stuff a customer buys from you over their entire time as a customer, the greater that number, the faster you can grow your business, because you can afford to spend more to get customers if you know you're going to get more out of the other end. So our goal here is to not just increase the average order value up front, which is important, but to also get people to buy more and more and more and more stuff long term. And then all of a sudden you've got these automatic sales coming in, and you realize that you can really ramp up your ads and affiliates and customer referrals up front because you're making so much money off of these customers down the road. So this is basically the 4 steps of this system. Pick the right product that can be sold anywhere, maximize the amount customers buy up front, turn on and test a diversified group of proven traffic sources, and create automated follow-up systems to increase lifetime value. So that's kind of a lot to cover, about 45 minutes into it. So quite a bit we covered here. We're going to do Q&A here in a second. But in my opinion, we barely scratched the surface on everything that's possible with this new model. So whether you're starting for your first e-commerce business, or you want to scale your current e-commerce business massively, it seems like we're about 50-50 here. This is finally the answer you've been looking for. If you've kind of been beating your head against the wall over the past few years, being like, I don't know, this kind of Amazon FBA thing is a little bit saturated. It seems like, something's not quite adding up here. How do I sell the same product to the same people and all of a sudden I got to win? How do I compete against these products that have thousands and tens of thousands of reviews when I'm starting from scratch? This is the solution to that problem. You sell on your own site with a differentiated, good, high quality product with a high average order value, and you've got nobody to compete against, because once you get somebody to your site, it's your site. You control what reviews go on there. No competitors can write reviews of your products on your own website. You control the entire experience, what you add, what you don't add, what you show, what you don't show, and everything that happens after somebody becomes a customer, because they are truly and finally your customer, not Amazon's. So with this new system, you build a brand that you control on your own platform. You own the customer relationship. You can upsell, cross-sell, and build repeat customers. And you are not dependent on Amazon any longer. You can use Amazon if you want. Now, I know this model works because I've actually done it. So this is just the past few years since 2019. This is Shopify alone. Like I said, today we actually produce 10 to 15% of our sales on Amazon on top of this. But just Shopify, we've sold over $60 million since January of 2019 and processed over 900,000 orders. So I know this stuff works. So now for you, do you want to build a life-changing business that finally sets you free? If so, I absolutely want to help you. This is what we've called the OmniChannel machine. This is the full program version now that the beta is closed. So the OmniChannel machine is designed by the only person to build a 3-time Inc. 500 category-crushing e-commerce business with $30 million in sales, like I've showed you here, and to help people sell $10 billion online in their own businesses. It's custom tailored to your needs with one-on-one support throughout the entire program. You get fast and massive progress starting now. You don't have to wait for anything to get this machine going. And it's a better model that's not dependent on Amazon that can help you either start from scratch or complement your existing business. The goal of this is to help you build a thriving, cash-producing, multi-million-dollar e-commerce business, primarily based selling on your own website with Shopify. So the components of this program, the first thing is you get detailed online training. Part one of the online training is about building a brand from start to finish. You learn how to find product opportunities, the differentiation matrix, finding high quality suppliers, supplier contact templates, creating a brand with simple logo and design resources, getting powerful product packaging to stand out, LLC and business and tax setup resources if you're getting started from scratch. Plus you get a bonus, which is a free product opportunity assessment valued at about $2,000. You get your product ready that you want to launch, let us know, we'll take a look and we'll give you our feedback. Part two of the online training is about launching your online store. So once you have this product ready to go, how do you get Shopify set up? We've got a simple 6-step blueprint to get you set up on Shopify. You get free theme selection. We show you how all that works. You get templates for basic and necessary store pages. So it makes that so easy. Your contact pages, terms pages, privacy pages, and all those kind of annoying things you got to do. We've got templates and ways for you to get those created super quickly. 3 critical and easy to use apps to enhance your store. You learn how to build a lead list even before your first product is ready to launch it. You get the 5-point checklist once your store is set up, and you create your automated fulfillment system. So with this machine, you don't have to hold inventory on your own, any of that kind of stuff. You can either use Amazon FBA as your fulfillment system, or you can use one of the many third-party fulfillment companies that'll do basically what Amazon FBA does for you if you only want to sell on Shopify initially. So you have 2 different options there. Both work almost exactly the same. You don't have to hold any inventory, do anything like that yourself. You can do it just like you're selling on Amazon, basically running your entire business with a laptop. Part 3 of the online training is like, okay, your Shopify store is set up. How do you scale those sales? You learn how to beat all your competitors by maximizing average order value, going way deeper into every technique we have available here. Adding upsells, order bumps, and cross sells, detailed explanations and instructions on how to do all that stuff. Automating sales with email and SMS flows, email and SMS templates, how to make sales in your first 24 hours after launch, a step-by-step plan for that. Fill in the blanks marketing calendar template, add templates that work for any brand or product. And then part 4 of the training is expanding to Amazon and other platforms. Remember, the goal here is to build an omni-channel brand, not just Shopify, not just Amazon. I think Shopify should be your foundation of your business, but the goal is to sell anywhere you can possibly produce sales. So how do you take this brand and expand on Amazon? How do you expand on Walmart.com? How do you optimize what you may already have going on now or what you may have going on in the future on Amazon? And then how you hire and scale a team to run your business for you. We cover all of that in part 4 of the training. The value of all this, you learn how to pick products with confidence. You get a paint by number system to grow your Shopify sales. You get to know exactly what tools to use and how to use them. And you can finally make paid ads work because you've actually done the right steps beforehand. With this, I mean, kind of imagine having diversified sales that you control. If you already sell on Amazon today, there's no more kind of waking up and then wondering, oh my God, it's like my business is going to be cut in half because a competitor left a negative review, or I got an Amazon suspension. You now control everything. I wake up every day to $40,000 to $50,000 in repeat sales. I want you to be in a position where you wake up every day to sales on your own store that you control. That's what's possible. Imagine being able to send an email or SMS text message and basically print money anytime you want. If you have a customer list that you can communicate with through email and SMS, all you have to do to make more sales is come up with a good deal on one of your products and send an email or text. That's it. You can literally within hours see the sales start rolling in. That's possible when you sell on your own store with this system. Imagine waking up and not caring if you get a negative review on Amazon that drops your sales by 50%. If I woke up tomorrow and found on our main product on Amazon, a competitor had left a terrible review, we've had it happen where competitors have voted up like a negative review like 100 times, which is not natural. I mean, that's insane. And so that would happen literally overnight. I don't care. Like, sure, we'll do something to try to fix it, but ultimately I don't really care because most of our sales are happening on our own Shopify store. It doesn't really matter to me. I want you having that same sense of security. And imagine waking up to thousands of dollars in repeat sales on Shopify every single day before you start working. Eventually, we'll get into how to build repeat and recurring subscription sales for any brand, any product, any market. That's the holy grail of all this, is you produce a bunch of sales, you get automated sales happening from email flows, SMS flows, that kind of thing, which we go into all that. But then the holy grail is to literally be able to charge people's credit card automatically, willingly. They've opted in to receive products on an automatic basis. That's what we ultimately want to work towards, and that's also what makes your business so much more valuable. So the first component is the detailed online training. The second component is the personal implementation path. So this is assigned in the first 24 hours of onboarding when you join this program, because you may be starting from different places. So if you're starting from like, I want to start a new brand and product, we'll show you how to pick a product, find a supplier, create a brand, launch your Shopify store, and scale sales. However, if you want to use your same brand you already have and just add a new product, we'll still show you how to pick a product for your brand using the same system, then find a supplier if you don't already have a resource for that, then launch your Shopify store and scale sales. So you kind of get a jump ahead of certain areas. Path number 3 is you want to take your same brand, but maybe you sell 100% on Amazon a day. So we'll show you how to quickly get set up on Shopify and start scaling those sales, how to launch the store, how to optimize it for your brand, how to scale sales, advanced scaling strategies, and even beyond, then how to expand to platforms you're not already selling on. And last but not least, if you already have a Shopify store, but it's maybe only producing a few $1,000s a month, or maybe even more, but you feel like there's a lot more potential there, we'll show you how to optimize your store, reactivate customers, scale sales, even advanced scaling strategies, and expand any platforms you're already selling on. So it's a custom tailored path through this training based on wherever you're at today. So component number 1, detailed online training. Component number 2, personal implementation path. Then we have weekly group coaching calls, which are held twice a week, because we want to make sure you get all of your questions answered. That's what these group calls are for. The goal is to get you moving as fast as possible. So the first call each week is on product, suppliers, and branding. This is held Tuesdays, and it's led by Mike and another member of our team, Devin. Call number 2 of the week is all about marketing, specifically scaling on Shopify. This one is led by me. It's held on Thursdays. There to literally go deep into any question you want to ask about scaling your sales through marketing on Shopify. This is 100% delivered live each week. These aren't recorded. They are recorded, but they're not pre-recorded. So it's delivered live, so you can ask questions as we kind of talk each week. Then they're all recorded and available to watch anytime you want. So we deliver them live, then you get the recordings. If you can't make it, or if you want to rewatch anything, it's all posted inside of the community, so you can watch and rewatch anytime you want afterwards. You get quick, fast, and accurate answers each week. You get to work through problems and learn from others' questions that they ask. And to me, it's basically like getting one-on-one coaching each week at a fraction of the cost. I don't do any one-on-one coaching, but if I did, it'd be pretty expensive. And so this is basically like getting that one-on-one access every single week at a fraction of the cost. If you have a burning question, for example, let's say you're down the road or getting started, or you're adding a new product to your brand, or you're launching a new brand. If you have a burning question about finding a product, jump on, you can get that question answered live reliably at the same day and time every week. If you have a big problem maybe that you need solved in your business that pops up along the way, you can get it answered live by real experts, us, who've also multiple millions in e-commerce. So that's weekly group coaching calls. Next component is the private Facebook group. So this is the OmniChannel community. You get quick access to other members than us. You get access to recordings. This is where the recordings of the group calls are actually posted. So you can access recordings right there. It's live and available 24/7. You get access to this immediately when you join to start engaging. And so imagine down the road when you're busy building your business, but you're surrounded in your normal daily life or wherever you live today, you're likely not surrounded by tons of super ambitious, successful entrepreneurs. You're likely surrounded by a bunch of people who kind of just don't get it. Like, why are you building this business? Then at that moment, say 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now, you jump into the Facebook group and you see a fellow member you've watched over months hit a major milestone in their business. Because you see that, your motivation soars, and now you're back on track, regardless of who you're surrounded by in your daily life. Then maybe a few weeks later, you notice a post with a killer tip that you can implement immediately that catapults your sales to a higher level. That's the value of this group. You'll feel like an entire community is at your back helping you succeed, because we are. That's the point of all this. Your motivation will remain high, so you push through all obstacles and build the business that changes your life. So after the private Facebook group, you get a dedicated client success manager. This is unlike any other program that we've seen in this space. So you get unlimited access, unlimited one-on-one access to somebody who's got your back. We call them client success managers. You get a dedicated e-commerce professional available to you. This includes an onboarding session as soon as you join. Then you get unlimited one-on-one access to this person via a private Slack channel. Anytime you have a question, anytime a problem pops up in your business, you want to learn where something is at in the program, you're having an issue you don't know how to solve, literally just fire up your phone or computer. You'll have a one-on-one Slack channel with this client success manager. You can send him a question. 80% of the time, they'll know the answer. The 20%, they can go and get the answer for you. And so that's the value of having this one-on-one person. They help you pick the best implementation path for you. This is part of the onboarding experience, and they make sure you know how to best use the program. You're never kind of wondering, going through support tickets and that kind of thing. You literally have one-on-one access to somebody throughout this entire thing. And they guide you through your entire e-commerce scaling journey following our system. So that's the dedicated client success manager. Then last but not least, you get templates, checklists, and resources. So these include everything from product research, differentiation matrix, supplier contact templates, low-cost logo resources, brand guidelines, store admin page templates, upsell page templates, ad templates, store setup checklists, email automation templates, SMS automation templates, Amazon automation checklists, optimization checklists, and much more. I've basically taken everything we've used to build this $30 million business, templatized it, and you get it included inside of this program to make things as easy and quick and fast and as low cost as possible. So this is the full program of the OmniChannel machine. Detailed online training, your personal implementation path, weekly group coaching calls, private Facebook group, dedicated client success manager, templates, checklists, and resources. This is a 6-month intensive program built to get you massive results no matter where you're starting today. However, you do get some of these components for life. The detailed online training, the online training videos and materials, you get access to those basically for life. Your personal implementation path is yours. The templates, checklists, and resources, you basically get access to those for life. Then the weekly group coaching calls, the private Facebook group, and your one-on-one support from the client success manager. As you can imagine, those things are very intensive. Those are all for a full 6 months. So what's the value of all this, you might be wondering? I've built an e-commerce brand worth $40 to $60 million today based on valuations we see with this same system and these same resources. There are thousands of opportunities right now to create new brands and scale existing ones using the same strategies. The value of this type of direct-to-consumer business right now is 3 to 10 times profits. And in some cases, it may sound crazy, but it can be as high as 20 times profits. If your business produces $250,000 a year in profit, it could be worth an estimated $750,000 to $2.5 million. That's what we're after here. I've never been about building short-term hustles with tiny amounts of money that don't really change your life. I want you to build a life-changing business that can really impact yourself, your family, your future family, everything else. That's what I'm after here and what I want to help you with. Just as important, you're building a business you control. So not just the financial impact and the big picture there, you're also building a business that you're going to be a lot happier running. You're no longer in a position in which all your hard work could be for nothing, literally overnight, because of an Amazon policy change. Now, the juice used to be worth the squeeze, as they say, for that type of risk on Amazon. I don't really think so anymore when there's this big of an opportunity outside of Amazon. I recommend using Amazon, not making your whole life dependent on Amazon. You build your brand with a direct relationship with your customers. You can email, SMS, and market to anytime you want. That's what building a real business is all about. Here's how confident I am this is going to work for you. If you don't produce an extra $10,000 in sales with this system, we'll work with you until you do for free, or you can get your money back. This is my guarantee to you. If you're starting from scratch, this means you get your first $10,000 in sales in 6 months, or you pay nothing. If you already own a brand and want to expand, you'll get an additional $10,000 in sales within the first 6 months, or you pay nothing, no matter where you're starting at today. All you have to do is take action using the steps we give you in this program. If you don't get at least this result, we'll work with you until you do, or you can get your money back. That's how confident we are that these strategies work. To get this full program, including online training, resources, group coaching, and one-on-one support from an e-commerce professional, the investment is only 3 payments of $1,933. That's it. Once you're done, you get access to everything we've talked about here. You're also 100% covered by a no questions asked 14-day check it out money back guarantee. Give the program a try for the next 14 days. You'll get access to your client success manager and everything else. And if you're not happy, we'll give you a full refund. Now, you might have seen the beta program we launched to this, which is why you see me emphasizing this is the full program. And in case you saw the beta option, which is closed now, it's not available anymore, I want you to kind of understand the difference and how this is 10 times more. So with the beta, when people join, which is no longer available, you get online training to launch a product, online training to kickstart Shopify sales. They got monthly group coaching, just literally all we promised was once a month. There's no community. Everything is through video comments. There's no refunds offered. Literally, that was the policy. No refunds whatsoever. Don't join unless you're willing and ready to take action. So that was kind of the beta program. The full program, which is what we're talking about here, you get the same online training to launch a product, more and enhanced. You get online training to kickstart Shopify. You also get advanced Shopify scaling strategies. You get scaling on Amazon strategies. You get 2 weekly group calls, which is 8 a month versus 1 a month. So you get 8 calls a month, which is insane. You get access to a private Facebook group. You get a dedicated client success manager, literally one-on-one access to somebody who knows what they're doing for a full 6 months, which is super valuable. More templates and resources. You get a 14-day check it out guarantee, and you get the $10,000 sales boost guarantee. This is why it's easy for me to say the full program is easily worth 10 times the beta, which was kind of the idea. If you have any final questions, if you want to just talk to somebody about everything we have to offer here, if you have any questions we haven't been able to answer so far, go to this URL. We have a limited number of these calls. We literally only have 2 people on our team. They are extremely busy, but they're available for a free strategy session. Both of them have a lot of e-commerce knowledge. One of them currently owns a business that sells about $600,000 plus a year. He's also on our team, so he kind of has 2 roles now. And the other one has coached and consulted with massive e-commerce experts, e-commerce sellers and influencers, done private coaching with some very successful people. And so those 2 people are available now to, if you want to jump on a call, ask them about this program, ask them any questions you have. I want to say thank you for everyone for joining us here. I would love to see you inside of the OmniChannel Machine program. We know this is going to change tons of lives out there. That's what we're here for. That's what we do this at Amazing for. So thank you for joining us on this webinar. Hopefully we get to see you soon, and hopefully we get to see you inside of the OmniChannel Machine program. So thanks everyone. That's it from me.
Awesome. Thanks everyone. I had a blast being on here, answer all the questions, and I am so excited to see so many people sign up in for the new program, and I can't wait to see you guys in the Facebook group, and also just getting tons of success stories for you as well. So have a great evening, and I'll see you all really soon on one of the live calls.